Welcome back to 5-Minute Knives, the channel you want but don't always deserve. Today, we're going to talk about a hypothetical scenario that seems to do really well on this channel. If I can only have 3 knives, okay? And as you can see, these are the 3 I've selected. I'll tell you why after I try to sell you one of these custom Kydex sheaths. And we're back! Okay, remember, if you guys need a custom Kydex sheath, you need to email me at dragonscalejoe@gmail.com. The website is down. I get constant emails asking about the website. Just ask about the sheath. You already emailed me. So anyway, here we go. If I can only have 3 knives, and this may be kind of like a boring pick, but I update this every once in a while. So if I can only have 3 knives out of my collection right now, they may surprise you because I don't really have a big tater digging implement on here. You know, I really like my Kisljar Sensei Supreme for tater digging. You know that I really like the Cold Steel Recon Tonto for tater digging. You know, I even like my APOC Wakizashi for tater digging. But if I had to take 3 knives and go, I gave it some real thought. These would be the 3, and some of you guys may disagree with me. I know a lot of you guys would throw the Architect in here over the SE6, but that's the first one we're going to talk about, my SE6. This is my beloved tried and true. Now, why do I pick the SE6 when the Architect 6.5, for example, has an upgrade option of CPM 3V steel, or the 5.5, let's say? Well, simple. The 1095 steel, I can sharpen really easily in the field. I love my ability to sharpen it so easily. I've gotten so used to the SE6 over the years. I've had 6 different versions of the SE6 over the years. 5 or 6. I've owned this knife a lot, and this is my current one that I have now. It hasn't seen a lot of use, as you can tell. That's okay. I kind of baby this one. I love this one. I use it for sheath making and some other stuff, but it's in my bug out pack, and I really love this knife. So without rule of law or things get really hairy out there, you best believe I'm going to be strapping my SE6 to my hip, and out we go. I love this knife for a variety of reasons. Most importantly, my camp tasks. I've gotten really used to using SE6 for wood processing, a lot of food prep stuff, just you name it. Anything you need a knife for, I generally have this out. And then for the close cutting stuff, I'm generally choked up, okay? And I use this. I make my feather sticks with this. I've batoned with these. I pounded in tent stakes. I've made tent stakes. Even though it's a little on the heavier side with these 3D scales here, these G10 scales, you know, for tater digging, you could defend yourself just fine with one of these suckers, which I really like. So, but this is not my tater digging implement. I've actually become more of a close quarters guy. And this leads me to my second pick. The review should have already gone up by now. This is wearing a sheath made by me with a Magnum Works loop, but it is a Tops knife. This is the Tops Ice Dagger. And this would ride in the front of my chest rig from Hill People Gear. By the way, update review coming on that. But this is actually my tater digging. I'm up close and personal now. I get right in there. It's not really long enough to deal with a lot of animals. This is more for like your human taters and so on. Also, I think an animal wouldn't like this, don't get me wrong, but I would probably switch over to the SE6 if I were attacked by something like a mountain lion or whatever, I had to fend them off. But yeah, the Tops Ice Dagger is my tater digging implement. It's quick, it's small, it's out of the way. I generally have a mechanism on me. I'd probably have my CZ P10S in an appendix carry, this in scout carry right to the left of it, boom, she's out. Or on my Hill People Gear chest rig out front, and or on my right side in a reverse grip fashion like so. A lot of versatility in this knife. Again, 1095 steel, easy to sharpen in the field. I mean, between this and that, I got tater digging out of the way. I got camp chores and food prep out of the way, you know, shelter building, things like that. So there's that. And then for my EDC knife, you guys know, tried and true, it's going to be the Endura 4, but this is in the K390 steel here, okay? This thing is a laser beam. It is just spooky sharp. Somebody did tell me I could reprofile the edge and make it even sharper. I don't see the point. This is like, it's sticking to my finger right now. It is so sharp, it's stupid. And I have it on this wave, so this goes in the right pocket. So out of my pocket, this catches the wave and this is instant. Plus this is one of the few knives I do feel comfortable in a reverse grip. I would probably go for this first, you know, and then like, okay, so I get to camp, I take off my chest rig, let's say, and I'm just kind of chilling out and walking around. Even if I get surprised, this thing is out in a flash and the blade length is, you know, with the wave comparable to the ice dagger. So it's a little bit of redundancy here, but also some food prep and also some nice slicey, you know, EDC tasks. I can use this where I really wouldn't use the ice dagger. So this would be like my everyday stuff, cutting paracord, things like that. I would generally just draw my knife for that. The K390 steel performs really well and you don't need to sharpen it often. So this would probably be seeing the majority of work done as far as my like small cutting tasks, followed by this being my self-defense implement, right? And then followed by this being shelter building, camp chores, wood processing. Okay, so if I could have only 3 knives, I think you could do a lot worse than these 3. And I really thought it out. You know, I mean, there's a reason for all of these. But let me know in the comments what your 3 would be. I always enjoy reading those. You guys are fascinating. And you think of knives I never would have thought of. But in my current collection, I was looking around. And if I had to cover just basic survival and just keeping myself out of mischief, keeping the taters off me, everyday cutting tasks that can also double as a tater digger, and then camp chores that could also double as a tater digger. See, like all 3 of these knives you can scrap with, if you really had to. This one being the slowest but best reach, this one being the fastest but like thinnest blade, you know, this one being the best for puncture, you know, but a short reach. You know, they all have their limitations and strengths, but there's a lot of overlap with my picks here, and I hope you appreciate how much thought I put into this because, you know, I did put a fair amount of thought into this, and there is a you know, good reason I picked each one of these 3. So let me know what you think. What is your 3, guys? I'm very, very curious. Last time was so much fun. I had to recreate the video because your picks were awesome, and it actually led me in the comments to buying a few knives and or reaching out to Blade Ops to send me a few knives I wouldn't have thought of. So you guys have helped me out, and I think you're really going to appreciate this. Check out the comments below because I'm sure they're going to be fascinating. They were last time, and you know, see how my selection has changed since the last video too. So again, SE6 still in there, and Endura 4 still in there. Topps Ice Dagger making its way in. I can actually get a lot done with this knife, but it's not really for much other than tater digging in my opinion. But if I had to punch into something, I got that reinforced tip here. The 1095 is easy to sharpen. I got this really handy sheath that I made. I don't know. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. I like this setup. But all 3 of these make me very happy and feel very warm and cozy inside. Much like you guys love your Glocks because they make you feel good inside. You know they're gonna work. That's how I feel about all 3 of these. I know they're gonna work for their intended task. And the Endura 4 with the upgraded K390 steel has made it even better. It's kind of like the Shield Plus. The Shield was always good, right? And then they made the Shield Plus with like more capacity, and it's just slightly thicker in the handle with like, you know, a better finish and you know, texture. Why not? And a better trigger. You know, so the Shield Plus, like if you already own the Shield, then yeah, you're gonna love the Shield Plus. Same thing with the Endura 4. If you already own the Endura 4 and VG10 steel, you're really gonna love it in the K390. And a lot of guys were telling me, you know, some negatives about K390. I haven't noticed any. This thing's awesome. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I use this every day. You know, this goes with me on duty, the whole 9. So this also kept me safe on duty. And this is also an essential blade for any time I go camping or hiking. The SE6 is always and forever with me and has been for many, many, many years, by the way. This is like, these 2 have been with me for many, many years. Like, you know, sometimes you just get something that you like that's perfect and you really just don't want to change it. I have no reason to change these out. I have no reason to switch to another EDC knife. I have no reason to switch to another camp knife. Although the Architect 6.5 and 5.5 did give the SE6 a run for its money, I just don't know why I never just switched fully. I think it's because I always own an SE6 when I come into possession of an Architect, and I never really switched them out. Plus, the 1095 is easier for me to sharpen, and I do like just sharpening my knives in the field quickly, easily getting in and out. Also, is that the CPM 3V steel doesn't like the cold as much. This seems to be more forgiving with the Rowan heat treat. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but again, SE6 makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. That's why I never switch it out. They've never failed me, and I've put them through hell. Not this one, but other ones in the past. So there you go. Let me know what you think, guys. Very curious. Talk to you next week. 5 Minute Knives out.